I used to think Muslims were crazy for jumping into marriage without dating or having 2 or more wives. But after having dozens of Western girlfriends, I converted to Islam. And before I was Muslim, I had at least a dozen, probably more, serious relationships. Some were 6 months, some were 3 or 4 years, and these were with your standard United States Western woman. And a fair share of them would be what you would consider feminist, somewhat feminist, woke, whatever. And I remember, even when I got along with a woman, even when there was no conflict, there was still a mismatch in values. For instance, there was one girl I dated who was very nice, she was an amazing person, but she constantly wanted to go out to lunch with other men, even wanting to go on trips with other men and share a hotel. And when I would say things like, wait a minute, you're going to go on a trip with another man who you claim is your friend, you're gonna stay in the same hotel with him to save money, and you think I should be okay with this? And the response to this situation and situations like it was always the same. Well, don't you trust me? Why are you so insecure? And my mindset was like, it doesn't matter if I think that no matter what happens, you will not cheat. What matters is the fact that you would even ask me that. It's a respect thing. It's a matter of decorum. It's a matter of class. It's a matter of simply there are certain things in life you do not do. And I'll be honest, at first I thought these women were crazy. But then I started letting it get in my head because, you know, these women, it would be the same story over and over and over again. Like, oh, you're insecure, why don't you trust me? I started to believe that maybe I was the problem. Like maybe I really did have insecurity issues or I really did have trust issues. And so when I finally found Islam and started looking into it, I read a verse that just really struck me, and it was, marriage is half your religion. And it made me realize that, look, a big part of life is getting married and having a family. It's the foundation in which you build your whole life on top of, because every day you wake up with that person, you care for the child that you had with that person, you will die for that person, you will work, every penny that you make as a man, everything that you do is to support your family. And so for me, it's like, dude, you're really gonna disrespect me when I'm going to war for you every day? No. And this is why the divorce rate is so high in America. And by the way, 80% of divorces in America are initiated by the woman. Men, actually, we tend to stick it out. But we're unhappy because we get no respect. And again, I'm not talking about every woman. I'm just talking about the average Western woman. We get no respect. And then when we get no respect, obviously we're not as loving and caring because we're being beat down to death every day with disrespect. And so then the woman decides, well, I'm not happy, I don't feel good today, I don't feel good about my marriage, so I'm gonna file a divorce. If you are from the West, you have to understand that 50 years ago, if a woman dressed like most women dress today, any person walking down the street would think she was a prostitute. They would look at her and go, oh, that's clearly a hooker. Like they would. But now all of a sudden you fast forward 50 years, it's liberating, it's feminist, it's like, no, you still look like a hooker. You just, all your friends look like hookers, so they don't judge you because they're all acting like hookers as well. Like that's the only thing that's changed. And so and look, no offense, if you want to dress like a hooker, dress like a hooker. But I don't want to marry you. You know, and I shouldn't have to marry you. And it shouldn't be normalized that I should have to marry you. And I shouldn't be considered insecure because I don't want to marry you. This is not difficult to understand. When I came to Islam, I thought, this has everything I need as a man. It encourages respect. It has a blueprint for marriage. Divorce rate is low. And also, I'm normal here. I'm a normal person in Islam. If I say, hey, I'm not gonna go out with other women and you're not gonna go out with other men, we're together. And Muslim women, at least any that I know, would never balk at that. They would never dispute that. They'd be like, yeah, of course I'm not gonna go hang out with another man. When you live in America, you get to have way more than 4 girlfriends if you want. It's not, there's no incentive to convert to Islam to have more women. You get more women when you're not Muslim. And so these are things that led me to Islam because they just made more sense.